Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sampi. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new here, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you all today for a new episode review of Lady Buddhist Atlanta. Please, if you're not subscribed yet, I invite you to subscribe. I've been getting a lot more views these past days and I'm so excited about it. As you know, I'm new to this YouTube thing and I'm going to be mostly focusing on show reviews, but also lifestyle, which includes hauls and travel vlogs. So last time on the last episode, we stopped at Robyn and Kiana, who were talking about Crystal and the situation. Robyn was giving all the deets and saying some cringe-worthy stuff, such as, Crystal being her friend for specific reasons. Then they moved on to Kira. So we have Kiana calling Kira. Robyn is willing to talk to her and put the situation to rest. She wants to move on. And Robyn is telling Kiana, did you see how Kira reacted to me when I wanted to take a picture with her? And she was like, yeah, I've noticed that. And she was like, listen, all of this because of an Instagram unfollowed. I think we should put it to rest. So they call Kira and Kira comes into the room. And they're having a discussion. Robyn ends up apologizing, but in her confessional, Robyn was talking mad, She was talking about how Kira is the age of a kid, and because of that, she's going to be the bigger person, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, whatever it takes, because we're tired, right? We all tired. So about that situation. So Robyn apologizes to Kira, and Kira is like, I wasn't really mad about the situation. Kira, you were mad. You were really mad. And she's trying to explain where she was coming from. And basically was saying that her intention was not to call Robyn old. What she meant by older real estate agent, she really meant to say more experienced real estate agent, but she used the wrong word, but that's not what she meant. And Robyn was like, yeah, you used the wrong word and you didn't get the type of reaction that you wanted. And I'm like, yeah, Robyn, but it doesn't always have to be tick for tack. It doesn't always have to be ticked for tack. And now part of me is wondering, so do you mean that you knew what Kira meant, but it was just easy for you to make her look like she wanted to say that you're old? Anyway, at the end of the day, both of you, I think, were kind of, I would say, wrong, because yeah, it's not a big deal, but if you're inviting someone because you want to work with the person and the person is explaining to you why they do not want to work with you or the issue that they have with you, the least you can do is at least to listen. And I feel like people don't like when they felt that their feelings are being belittled, and that's what Kira felt. And even though I cannot relate to her, if I was in Robyn's shoes, if you want to work with the girl and that's what her issue is, I mean, in the back of my mind, I was like, man, that's not a big deal. Like, I would have gone talk to another girlfriend, talk to her about the situation and be like, that's not a big deal. But if in front of you, I would have been like, yeah, I apologize. Like, I feel like in certain situations, you have to be a little bit hypocrite. Just a little bit. That whole thing about being real, and you have to pick the whole being real thing. I'm not saying I'm an hypocrite, but I'm just saying, like, you're arguing about an Instagram unfollow. Is it worth all that came after that? I don't think so. So I do feel that if I were Robyn, yeah, Kira was being extra about the unfollow, but you could have just moved on. But I felt like she did add a good comeback, and she explained that after talking to younger people, she realized that the unfollow is a big deal. She didn't think it was such a big deal, but because of that, she apologized. And Kira accepted the apology, and they're finally moving forward. So yeah, excited about that. I'm happy they're able to put it to rest, and I hope that they never talk about it again. Next scene, we have Tiana. The beautiful Tiana is going to a house that they have a list that she has on the listing for a seller. So she's representing the seller in that situation. The house is beautiful. It has 5 bedroom, 6 bathroom, and it's listed for $2.7 million. And it's a very modern looking house, which I personally like. and she's explaining that the house has been on the market for now 30 days at the time, and that they have not been able to sell. And I'm very surprised, but I'm thinking it's probably because of the price, because this is still Atlanta. Atlanta is expensive, but it's still the South. It's not New York, it's not Chicago. So I'm thinking, I'm not a real estate agent, but I'm thinking it's probably because of the price that that is probably still on the market. I'm not sure. So she has a friend of her husband coming through to visit the house. His name is Kieran Fox, and he's a retired football player. He's fine. He's a good-looking man, and he's coming to visit the house. And he's liking the house. They're visiting the door, a beautiful. It's like a sliding, and the main door is like a sliding entry door, and the bedroom is big and it has an ensuite. Beautiful home, as most of the homes that they've been showing. And then they're showing the pool area, and I felt like the pool area was small. I felt like the pool took the entire backyard. Like outside of the pool, you couldn't do nothing. I felt like I didn't even see like a place where you could like lounge in front of the pool. So I felt like the backyard pool area was a little small. And for 2.9 million, I need to have land. I need to have a lot of land in the back of that house. It needs to be lush and green, and I need more than just a pool. I need a pool, a sitting area, a playground. I need everything. But that's just me, and I'm not a real estate agent, but I'm just giving what I think, my opinion. So yeah, they're visiting the house, and Karen is really liking the house, and he's telling her that he's gonna get back to her. And then I think at some point, whenever they're visiting the house, Tiana is asking him if maybe she's asking him what he's looking to do with the house. Is it gonna be for business, or is he looking to live in there as like a bachelor pad, or is he looking to have a lady in there? And he's like, nah, no lady in there. And I'm like, that man is a fine man, athlete, retired football player living in Atlanta. Yeah, he's not trying to get married. I'm pretty sure he can get everything and anything that he wants from the street of Atlanta without needing to get married, in his opinion. So yeah, he's saying he's not really looking into a lady right now, so he's thinking to use the house more of a bachelor pad. And it seems pretty simple. He said that all he really care about is that he needs a big like the master bedroom needs to be big enough for him. So yeah, so they're visiting the house, and he's promising to get back to her at some point. And yeah, next scene, we have Crystal and Kira. They're meeting at some lounge. They're both looking pretty good, and they're having drinks, catching up. And they have not talked since the last time that Crystal had that 5-star dinner for Kira, where she was trying to enlist her. And this time around, they're meeting really as friends. They're as potential friends or friend, whatever. They're trying to get to know each other. And since they're both recently single, Crystal was asking Kira, what is she looking for? Is she looking for another boyfriend, or is she manifesting a husband? And Kira is like, yeah, we're manifesting husband. She's 28 now, and even though she has time, she's starting to think about it. And I'm like, yeah, that's 28 is a good age. It's a good age when you're thinking about getting married. I would say, if you've been to school, you probably already have a career, you're settled, you've traveled a little bit, but you still have your youth, and you're thinking about it. I think that's a good age. I actually got married at 28 years old. Racing, she's manifesting a husband, and then Crystal was like, yeah, me too, girl. But then Crystal started talking about how she's recently been rekindling with an old boyfriend of her. Well, it was a boyfriend when they were in middle school, and they recently rekindled, and she's really liking him, but they do not really have the same value, but she still feels like he's a good man. And then she's asking her, what do you think about polyamorous? And Kira is like, and she's like, polyamorous. And I was like, yeah, basically like for us to look into dating each other, but also dating other people. And I was like, Crystal, you just said you're manifesting husband. You're manifesting husband, but you're going to start a relationship being polyamorous. Crystal is telling Kira that, yeah, that she's very curious about it and she's open to it and she would like to go to a polyamorous party. So she's asking Kira, what do you think? What do you think about going to a polyamorous party? I would like for us to go. And Kira is like, no, girl. No. She's been fasting, she's been praying, she's been manifesting that husband. She is a one-woman man and she wants a man that is only caring for one woman. So that she is not interested. And Crystal gets to tell her that it's not what you think, it's not an orgy, but it's a party where you have married men and married women and they have boyfriend, and that's what's going on in the street of Atlanta. And I'm like, ooh, Atlanta, New York, Los Angeles, Vegas, those places. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is happening a little bit everywhere, but yeah, it's hard in those streets. That's my conclusion. Good luck to both ladies on their endeavor in their romantic life. Next scene, we have Kiana. Kiana gathers together all of her real estate agents and she is telling them that to celebrate that so far they've been able to sold $51 million worth of houses. I'm like, wow, that's a big number. Congratulations to them. And I believe that was probably what they sold so far in 2021. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't the end of the year. Maybe it's been a year. It's probably been a year because then she said that she would like to have a 1-year party. So that's pretty impressive. Congratulations to Kiara. So yeah, Kiara is a broker. And a broker, from my understanding, is a real estate agent that went and got additional certification to be able to be the main person whenever to represent both buyer and seller when they want to buy or sell their houses. And most real estate agent works under a broker. So because Kiana is a broker, she has a lot of real estate agent that sells house under her brokerage. Let me know if my understanding is correct, but I felt like it was worth it explaining what it is, because from the beginning when I started with the show, I wasn't really explaining certain terms and I also had to do some of my research. So I was like, why not share? Why not share? Some of us might not know. So now we know what is the difference between a broker and a real estate agent. A broker did more than what a real estate agent did as far as studies, and they're able to do more when it comes to sell the house. The ladies, she's thanking them for everything that they've done so far and that she would be nothing without them. And she's telling them, I want you all to come on your best dressed. We're going to have a 1-year anniversary party. It's going to be at the Waldorf Astoria in downtown Atlanta, and it's going to be a fabulous affair. So please come ready. And yeah, I'm very excited. So nice to see Black women being successful, especially being during the pandemic. So she explained it's been a year that she opened a brokerage. So we are in 2022, which means that she probably opened it, I would say probably 2020, maybe 2019, 2020. My guess is that she opens it during the pandemic or maybe at the beginning of it. So that's really, really impressive. So congratulations again, Kiana. Scene, we have Crystal catching up with her dad. So her dad came to visit her in Atlanta. It seems her dad lives, I believe, in Seattle. And they're catching up. She's happy to see him. And they're talking about what they've been about. And the dad is telling her that he's working on doing some renovation in one of the houses that he has, and he would like to put tenants. So she's asking him all those questions, and then she's asking him how much is his mortgage, and he was like, oh no, I don't have any mortgage. I don't have a mortgage on the house. And she was like, oh yeah, wow. And I'm like, yeah, I love to see that. I've not met many people that do not have a mortgage. And what I mean by do not have a mortgage, I mean by they're able to finish paying their mortgage. This is a big accomplishment, because a house is probably going to be the biggest expense that we will have in our life. Most of us will spend the most money that we have in a house. So being able to repay that, and I think her dad said that all of his properties are totally paid, and that's how he's able to retire. That is really, really nice. And her dad looks really nice, really young and nice. I think he's probably around, I would say maybe end of 50s, early 60s. He looks really good. So yeah, I think that's so nice to be able to see people that look like me that having those type of discussion. I remember so far I've only met one person outside of my parents that were able to repay their mortgage, and I think that that should be a goal for a lot of us homeowner, to like repay your mortgage, making it a goal, so that by the time you retire you don't have to be worrying about that. So yeah, so that was really good. And then they talk, Crystal is letting him know about the situation that happened with Robyn, and of course she's giving him a watered version of what happened, but I wouldn't expect less. It's a dad. She's not going to go into the nitty gritty, and you know how men are. They probably don't even understand it. They probably, even if she goes into detail like that, it's probably not even going to be able to relate. So yeah, so he's giving her the best advice based on what she told him, which is, well, you did what you could, so there's nothing that can be done. And I understand. I think that when Crystal talked to her dad, that was the only time that I was like, it's okay if she's not being detailed. Like, that's a dad and that's a man, and they don't have time. They don't see those little details that us women sees. So next scene, we have Kiana and her husband. They're going to the doctor. Kiana and her husband would like to have a bigger family. They would like to have children together. Her husband has a child, a 20-year-old girl, and they would like to have baby together. And so they go to the doctor and they explain the situation. Kiana explained that she's 39 years old and that her husband is, I think, 41 or 42 years old, and that it's been a little bit complicated for them to have children. They recently started with IVF, and things didn't go through. So now they would like to move forward and see what can be done. So the doctor is being very honest. She's explaining to her that women, so she's giving her the biology lesson. Women are born with all their eggs, contrary to men, and that the prime time for a woman to have kids, really, from what I know, is probably the 20s, early 20s, like end of 18 to 25 is like prime time. And then after 35, it gets a little bit more difficult. It's not impossible, but there's also risk of your children having maybe Down syndrome. And it doesn't always happen, but that's something that is a risk that is elevated when a woman gets older. So she's giving all the background to Kiana and her husband, and she's also telling them that sometime whenever you go through that, you have to make a decision on how you want to become a mom, and it may not be the way you imagine. That sometimes that may involve donor eggs or donor sperm, which means that they're not going to use the couple egg or sperm, so they may have to get that from someone else to help them have children. And yeah, Kiana gave us more background, and she explained that she's been pregnant before, that she I don't know if she said she aborted the baby, but she said that she's been pregnant before. And she explained that her husband has a baby, and that she has been very focused on her career for some time, and her first baby is a brokerage. And as soon as she opened her brokerage, her husband and her started trying to injection for IVF, but it didn't work. So she explains that she explained the feeling she's going through, right? She's saying that she's at the height of her career, but at the same time, she feels like a failure because she is not able to conceive. And I understand. But for technology, because we've seen a lot more women being able to have children at a more advanced age, and they're having healthy children. And it's not just celebrities. And one thing that Kiana has on her side is that she explained that she has a period like clockwork, and I think she said that she's been pregnant before. So I feel like there's hope there, and also she has the means, right? IVF is very expensive, and America is one of those countries where you have very few company offers you insurance that allows to pay for IVF, which is not the case from where I'm from. I'm originally from Paris, France, was born and raised in Paris, France, and over there, when a woman is not able to conceive, and it's proven, I think the state, the country pays for you to do IVF, I think up to 3 times. And then after that, you're on your own. But at least you have 3 times where you can try IVF for free. Next, we're going back to Tiana. So the football player is reaching out to her. And he's telling her that he really likes the house. It's a very beautiful house, but he feels like the price is too expensive. And he believes that the price of the house is worth 1.9 million instead of the 2.7 million that it is listed for. And she explains to him that this is way under budget and that she cannot even consider the offer. She will still try to talk to the seller, but she's rather be honest with him and tell him that the offer that he has is very low. And he's telling her that he really liked the house and that if the seller has other houses that are more around that budget, he is open to look into them. And Tiana thanks him and very graceful, and yeah, then she tells us that the house has now been on the market for 40 days and it has not been able to sell. And people are observing the house, people are observing the price, but she thinks that she will need to have a discussion with the seller about decreasing the amount of the house, because it's been on the market for 40 days. And when a house stays on the market for 40 days, people, real estate agent and other people are going to think that there's something wrong with the house when there's nothing wrong with the house. It's probably mostly around the price. She didn't say that, but that's what I think. I think the house is priced too high. I think it's just priced too high, but that's just... Yeah, so she called the seller and they're talking. So they're talking strategies, and she explained the situation that she would like to decrease the amount of the house, and the seller says that she's okay with it, and then the seller gives her a price, and she was like, you know what, I was thinking about decreasing it for 100,000, but she felt like it's a big step, so let's decrease it for 50,000 first. That was smart. So she's explaining to us the strategy on the pricing of the house, how she's planning on decreasing it, why she's decreasing it, and also get very informative. And for us that want to buy houses and stuff like that, that's a good tip. That's a very good tip. So yeah, she agrees with the seller and they move forward. So I hope they're going to be able to sell the house. This is a beautiful house. I just think it's too expensive, even for Atlanta. On the next scene, we have Miss Robyn looking good. She had that red lipstick on and she's telling us she's going to meet with Tim. Tim is a friend, but he's trying to sell his house. The house has been his penthouse. The penthouse has been on the market for some time now, but it was listed way too high. So Tim is enlisting her to helping to sell the penthouse. So she gets there and she's telling her she hasn't seen Tim in a long time, but Tim is cute. So yeah, and she's looking cute and all that. So Tim opens the door and she's like excited. You know how Robyn is. She's like, oh, Tim. She gives him a hug and everything. And they're visiting the penthouse. The penthouse is beautiful. Tim bought it for $380,000, but he's trying to sell it for, I think, 1.2 million. And Robyn is explaining to him the house is really nice, the penthouse is really, really nice, but it's just priced too high. And she thinks that the house could be able to sell around 900,000, maybe $1 million to like some professor in Georgia Tech that made some money in Bitcoin. And she's selling him. She's selling him the type of person that she sees in the house. She believes that it's a bachelor house and that's not really a family house. So she's giving him all the deals. She's selling it. And Tim is loving it. And then we see them having, a drink and all that. And I'm like, y'all know. Tell me y'all don't think she has pretty privilege. She was looking all cute. She had that red lipstick and she's smiling and everything. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, girl, I see you. She's been able to sell to men's. I would love to see her sell to a woman. I would like to see how that works. And I'm sure she does, but so far we've only seen Robyn selling to men, and she's using that little charms of her. It's been cute. Last scene, so finally we at Kiana 1 year anniversary. Everybody is looking good, everybody is looking sexy, and they're all looking fabulous. And Kiana is like, both ladies are gonna be here. By both ladies, she means Robyn and Crystal. They have not seen each other since. Crystal is saying she hasn't seen Robyn since the fight, and Robyn hasn't seen her since the fight. So Kiana is telling Robyn that she doesn't want them to talk today because today is about a 1 year anniversary. No drama is allowed. She doesn't want any drama. So they're going to have to find another day if they want to fight, but today is not the day. And Robyn is like, well, I have strong vibe from Crystal that she's sad about it, that they may want to talk, so I think she's going to talk to her. And I'm like, okay, I wonder where those vibes are coming from, Robyn, but okay. So finally, Crystal and Robyn, they see each other since the last situation they had, and it basically ends with Robyn. So they're saying hi, you know, they're being cordial, they're in a classy environment, so they don't have any choice but to be. And Robyn is like, you haven't even reached out to me in 22 days or something. And Robyn, you've been counting. Yeah, you miss your friend, don't you? And yeah, so, and Crystal is like, you wanted me to run after you like you're giving me pee? I'm like, ooh, that's something I always say. I'll say, if you don't give me pee, I'm not running after you. But I'm not even running after anybody that gives me pee. I don't know if that pee is really good. But anyway, so yeah, guys, that's it for today. On the next episode, we will see the ladies finally talking to each other, and we were going to get to know a little bit more. And on the side of that, I also wanted to let you know that I've been into Kiana YouTube, and she was talking about she's done with the show because she feels like her show has not been representing the different business that she has, that she felt like the show is more focused on the drama. I feel like the show is like, what, 45 minutes to an hour. You cannot show everything. I understand what Kiana is coming from, but it's gonna be very hard to be able to show what everybody is doing. I hope she doesn't really leave, but she did say that she was quitting. I hope that the show is going to be able to work something with her. But yeah, because I've been liking her so in the show, so we'll see, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Please subscribe so that you will be able to see more of me. You will know whenever I'm posting, and you can even click the notification. I'm so excited, and I will see you all next week. Bye.